So a lot of things happened over the past 24 hours. One of the main things that happened was President Biden gave his State of the Union address. In this State of the Union address, President Biden addressed many things. And he also gave us some insight as to what he is proposing moving forward. Well, there's a new $9,600 tax break. Okay, a tax break for millions and millions of Americans. This is huge. This is something that if this goes through, if this passes, this could be a massive, massive move for millions and millions of people. Because right now, one of the big issues that we are facing is an affordability crisis, is that financial issue. So, I will address this in just a moment and explain how millions of people could potentially get this $9,600 tax credit from the Biden administration. So make sure you watch this entire video and I'll explain exactly what is going on. All I ask is one thing, it takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So I could come on here and tell you what President Biden said in his State of the Union address, or we could just play the clip. That's what we're going to do. Because President Biden is going to tell us exactly what he is proposing. But one of the things I want you to do is look and see what the people behind him are doing. When he addresses this and he proposes this new tax credit, do the people behind him shake it off, think it's not a good idea? Or do they nod their head like, yes, this is finally what the American people want? Well, the reason I say that is because one of the people behind him, on his right side, for us looking at it, right behind him on his right side, this is Speaker Mike Johnson. And he's going to be a major player as to whether or not this bill actually goes through. So, look at this.
I know the cost of housing is so important to you. If inflation keeps coming down, mortgage rates will come down as well, and the Fed acknowledges that. But I'm not waiting. I want to provide an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 2 years as mortgage rates come down, to put toward their mortgages when they buy their first home or trade up for a little more space. Just for 2 years. And my administration is also eliminating title insurance on federally backed mortgages. When you refinance your home, you can save $1,000 or more as a consequence. For millions of renters, we're cracking down on big landlords who use antitrust law, who break antitrust laws by price fixing and driving up rents. We've cut red tape so builders can get federally financing, which is already helping build a record 1.7 million new housing units nationwide. Now pass and build and renovate 2 million affordable homes and bring those rents down.
So, the big news is he wants to provide $400 per month to people to get into their first home, or those that are looking to trade up and get a little bit more space. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're looking to trade up or if you're looking to trade down. Honestly, if you want to get into a home, $400 per month. That is what they're discussing. Now, this is something that was kind of first addressed here last night. But this is something that they've somewhat discussed over the past, is can we give the American people somewhat of a tax credit to help them and get into a new home or get into a home of some kind? Yes, this is something that we could do. Now, where does this money come from? That's the question. Some say that it's fine if we can get people to buy homes, which many people are not doing at this time, because why would somebody buy a home if they currently have a interest rate of like 2.5 to let's say 4%? Why would they want to go and buy a new home, which is going to cost them more money, but at the same time, it's also going to cost them more money in interest because now they're getting charged like a 7% interest rate. So the Biden administration says, well, we need more affordable housing. Well, it's not just the Biden administration, though. Chicago, they advanced affordable housing with 13 new developments fueled by federal tax credits. And over in St. Pete, they're looking at a 95-unit affordable housing building proposed near 34th Street. Well, those are just a couple cities. Those aren't even the big ones. And so, just to give you an idea, there's a lot of discussions regarding affordable housing. Because right now, according to reports, they say that over 12 million people in the United States last year alone, they were spending more than 50% of their take-home pay on rent. 50%. You are supposed to spend less than 30% of your income on rent or your mortgage. And they're spending over 50%. This is how we know there's an affordability crisis. Now, I want to show you one other thing. It's right here. This is from Business Insider. It says the U.S. wants to boost affordable housing by using billions of unspent COVID aid. Here's what's happening. We are seeing right now that there's a lot of issues. We have a border crisis. We have an affordability crisis. We could go on and on about the different crises that we're facing. But the fight that we're also facing with Congress is, how do we use this? Where can we get this money? Okay, what can we do to fund our different priorities? Well, let's read this. It says billions of unspent pandemic dollars have been made available for housing projects as the federal government steps up efforts to tackle the shortage of affordable homes. It says the U.S. Treasury announced Tuesday that unused money from state and local fiscal recovery funds can be deployed for housing projects, freeing up about $40 billion. It says these funds are eligible for developments that will house families earning 120% the area's median income, a jump from the prior 65% threshold. Otherwise, they can be spent on federal housing programs or federally supported initiatives to house essential workers. It goes on to say, meanwhile, leftover funds from the Emergency Rental Assistance Program can be rerouted towards low-income housing initiatives, including land acquisition, pre-development construction, and rehabilitation. So, it's not just one thing. The federal government is looking at multiple ways to provide affordable housing. Here's just the warning I want to give you. If you are looking to get into a home, and this is not financial advice here, but if you are looking to get into a home and you are going to obviously buy, the issue you're going to face is home prices in many areas have actually gone up. Okay, they've gone up. We still have not seen the federal government decide, or well, really the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, to go and cut rates. Based off his statements this week, they're still a little ways away from cutting rates. So we could still be many months away. With that said, many people are not looking at selling their home. They want to wait. They want to hold it. Because if they're holding now and their price for their home is at X amount, if rates go down, chances are their home will actually go up in value and then potentially sell there. But the concern is, if too many people are doing that exact same thing, then all of a sudden you get 100 homes, 200 homes, 1,000, 2,000 homes in a certain city hitting the market within a few weeks. That's going to really bring prices down. So got to be careful with that. But all I can tell you right now is there are some discussions happening to provide more affordable options to you in your area. The only issue is, will it actually work? Will Congress pass this? Are we going to see the federal government and Congress allow $40 billion from previous COVID aid to go into affordable housing? Well, we're going to find out very soon. All I can tell you right now is they are having these discussions, and it could potentially lead to some good benefits for you, and potentially up to $9,600 over 2 years, which comes out to $400 per month. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is, yes, the Biden administration did bring this up last night. There were many Republicans in the audience that applauded this, and this is something that does have bipartisan support. So that's where we're at this time. Again, as soon as I know any more information on this, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.